What's up, everybody? Jed Johnson here from dieselcrew.com. Of course, you know they call me Napalm. You know what I realized? I was shooting a different video this morning, and I just figured out that I never culminated the top 5 countdown for my 5 best feats of my grip career. So I did 5, 4, 3, and 2, and I think I did those during the COVID lockdown, but I never did number 1. Now, I know that some of you guessed what number 1 would be, but I never did a video on it. So I wanted to go ahead and make it official and tell you what I feel is the number 1 grip feat that I've ever accomplished in my career. And that is the double old school Yorks pinch. What does that mean? Well, this is what's considered an old school York. It's a 45-pound plate. And you can see it's much thicker than a normal 45-pound plate, okay? So these are both Yorks. All together, these measure over 4 inches in width. A regular plate itself is about 1 inch. So 2 of them would be 2 inches. So obviously this feat is going to be twice as thick as a normal 45-pound pinch would be these days. It took me, well, I got the first set of old school Yorks in 2004, I believe. First lifted 1 set of them in 2013. Now, it's not like I trained 9 years straight on this and just kept failing the whole time, but off and on I would put in a few weeks of specialization on that feat, and finally I got the first set in 2013 to lock out, and then I didn't do it for a while, and I came back to it in 2017 and trained it really hard for like 2 or 3 weeks, and finally got the double. So the thing, what exactly makes this difficult? Sure, they're super wide. But on top of that, and I don't know if you can see this from the video, but the inside rim, look at the difference there, comparison-wise. See how thick this rim is? Look how thin that one is. When you sandwich these things together, it's real easy for them to slide inside of one another. You don't have that with the modern-day current 45s like this. They stay together real nice. You can tilt them, and it gives you a little bit of an advantage when you're pinching them. If you try to tilt the old school Yorks, they almost instantly fall inside of one another and spoil your grip setup. So you got this really narrow area here, plus it's rounded, and that doesn't help things either, man. That just makes them collapse inside of one another even more. So aside from the requirement to have a real big hand, beyond that, you don't know what they're going to feel like. I mean, Better in Dubai has a set of these that are absolutely super thick. They won't take chalk. These are rougher, so that helps you out. But you don't know what you're going to be contending with if you find somebody with a set of these. Whether they're going to take chalk, whether they'll allow you to put chalk on their plates, all that stuff. I've cut my thumbs severely with these, like taking giant, like 3/8 inch chunks out of my thumb from time to time. There's just a lot of challenge. The biggest challenge of all is probably just finding a set, because they're pretty rare. A lot of people like, I mean, some people have like multiple sets, but you know, some people have only one. They don't even have a pair, or they don't match up. So a lot of these have been lost over the years, either melted down to make more plates, or simply tossed into the trash, and they're in landfills somewhere, buried by tons and tons of other debris. But I did the double old school Yorks pinch in 2017. I was the first person to ever do it. Shortly after that, maybe a month and a half, 2 months afterwards, Chad Woodall was able to replicate the feat at Sornex, and also not only pick them up, was able to farmers walk them. So tremendous feat of strength, and Chad's one of the absolute best grip guys in the world of all time. So yeah, that's the best feat that I ever pulled off, in my opinion. Since then, I've never done it again. I have done one set several times since then, but a lot of times once I do a feat, I don't usually go back to it. I usually try other stuff. So unless I totally forget that I did the feat, and then I'll end up trying to do it again thinking I never did it before, kind of like the 200-pound anvil with the 50-pound blob curl, which I actually did 6 months but don't even remember doing it. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. That was my top feat of all time and my top 5. The other 4 videos are on my YouTube channel. If I can round them up, I'll put them in the description box. Hope you liked it. If so, give it one of these. Be sure to subscribe, and all the best in your training. Take care.